What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been MIA for the past couple weeks, but we got another tutorial today. This is on my boy Robert. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to stay tuned, and we'll get right into it, alright? So first we got the number 3 guard here, and we're going with the grain. So when I'm saying with the grain, we're going with the growth pattern that the hair is growing in naturally. So if it's growing forward, we're going with it forward. We're not going against the hair. This preserves a little bit length, and also it's technically thinning out the hair as well, or texturizing the hair as well. So this is a good double combo, but he wants to go do a 3 with the grain. This is when we kind of discover that he could grow waves in his hair. So I'm going to do another video of his hair more recent, but as you can tell the back, see how his calic kind of separates. Make sure to go with that grain and follow it. But I'll make another video showing how his hair is now. It's a lot more curly and wavy. But now we took that same guard with the number 3, and now we're going against the grain, and we're setting the base of the whole haircut with that 3 guard, and we're following that across the whole head. And I am using my Gamma Ergos here, and we are using the wall system. I use the wall system at first for the 3 guard and the 2 guard, and then once we go into the fading, I move on to their single magnetic guards. Alright, so now we have the number 2 guard on here, right here, and we're just clearing off bulk. We're cleaning up, showing the, making the base. So now when I put my bald guideline in, all I'm doing is blending from bald to a number 2 guard. Alright, so sorry it's out of focus right now, but we got our trimmer. It's about to focus right now. We have our trimmer, and we're setting it right below his on his vertical bar at the bottom, right where his C cup meets up, and we're dropping it in the back just so we have enough room to fade up. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, and then meet that in the back. Make sure that you have this line nice and symmetrical on both sides, because this is gonna set the tone of the whole fade. Now we have no guard on there, and we're open up the lever all the way, and we're creating about a good inch guideline. Alright, this is super important that you make sure this guideline is pretty wide, because this is what's gonna help you remove that bold guideline efficiently and smoothly. If you make it really tight, then the fade's gonna look kind of wonky and won't look as blended out. So now we're gonna attack that bottom line. We close the lever completely closed, and we're attacking that bottom line. Alright, we're going up another 1/4 of an inch. As you can see, I'm making another guideline, and you'll notice as I go to the back towards the apex, towards the occipital of his bone, that area gets more dense. So you're gonna have to make sure to go up as you go farther back, because if you don't, it's gonna create some dark spots, especially around where the head starts to curve, where I was just at. So now we opened it halfway, the lever, and we're going up a little bit more, and then we're gonna open up the lever all the way and go to that ceiling of that first guideline we made. After this part, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the lever notches that I'm actually using. But as you can see, it's pretty much all blended out. Just right there, I'm having a little bit difficulties because his head bends and curves right there. So usually, if I had the clipper all the way closed, maybe, or if I had it like halfway open, maybe close it up and then attack it. And then if that doesn't blend it out, go to your trimmer and use your corners. Now what I'm doing on the back is I'm connecting the back to the side. So now I can see how the lightness and darkness of it. So what we're doing is trying to match that back to the side so it looks all symmetrical. So right here we started with it completely closed, then we opened it halfway, and then we opened it all the way. Then I go down 1 notch each time going backwards. So I hope that makes sense. You have it completely closed, opened halfway, all the way open, and then you go down each notch back to all the way closed to do the detailing. So right now we're halfway open, we're going up. I'm open up all the way now. So I'm hitting that ceiling, that top guideline I just created earlier. And after that, I'm just going to play with the lever, close it a little bit, and just do detail work. Now we got our number 1 guard. This is a single magnetic guard. This is what comes with the Ergos. So it's the 1 guard completely open. and we're going up into that 2 guard, keeping the blade, like I always say, flush to the head. Don't dig in. And then for some reason with 1 guard, I learned this from Chris Bosio, I just go from the 1 guard open to close. I don't really mess with the lever too much, because pretty much the 1 guard, like I always say in my videos, if you are new, the 1 guard is mainly to just soften up that line between the guard with no guard open and to the 1 guard, okay, or to the half guard, my bad. So you're just trying to line up that area so that when you come back with the half guard or the 0 guard, that's when you'll really blend it all out. The 1 guard will not completely remove that line. It's very hard to do it with just that. So the 1 guard is just softening up that line so it's a lot lighter, as you're going to see back here on the back. See how it's kind of dark right now? But once I start playing with it with 1 close, you're going to start seeing it turn a little bit more gray. It's starting to lighten up. So that's what the whole objective of that 1 guard is, just to line up the area. And then after that, you'll go ahead and come back with the 0 guard or the half guard, depending on what system you're using, and that will bring everything together. And then if it still doesn't bring it all together, you'll see later in the video, I take off the guards and I'll just start using no guard with the clipper completely open, and I'll start using corner and detailing. And since we're going with the grain, I did go with the grain of the 1 open just to soften up and lay the hair down a little bit better. But now we have the 0 guard, which I was talking about, which is equivalent to the half guard on the wall system. And we have that completely open, and then I'll go halfway open, and then I'll go completely closed. With this one, you want to go a little bit, each notch by notch a little bit more, because it's more of the detail, and you're really trying to remove that line from the blade open to the 1 guard, okay? So this one I go 0 guard, completely open, okay? Then I go halfway open, and I go completely closed. So right here I took off the guard, so I'm no guards on there now. I went through all my steps. I have it completely open, and as you see, I'm using the corners. I'm leaning more towards the right of my blade, and I'm just picking out those dark spots. See all those little dark spots that are in his head? I'm just poking at those. Keep going around poking until it looks like a nice flawless blend. You just want to go ahead and poke, move the lever as you need now. So now you already know you've been through the whole your system. Don't be afraid. If nothing's cutting, close it down a notch. If you want to be safe, just go down 1 notch. If you're a little bit more advanced and you know what you're doing, go ahead and go down 2 notches, and just really use those corners and just start picking out those dark spots.
It's another weedy beat. It's another weedy beat.
So right here I grab my trimmer, start picking out with my trimmer now, using corner as well. His hair is super thick, and as you can tell, when it gets bald, and then it gets a little bit difficult to remove that line. So that's why I saved the shaver part for the end. I've been cutting his hair for almost a year now, but I'm still learning, and I'm always getting better and better at cutting his hair. This video was recorded, maybe a year ago, almost. So from this video until now, I've been cutting his hair so much better. And we've changed his hairstyle. His hair is a lot longer on top. It got pretty curly at one point, but then he cut it back down a little bit. But now we're just using some scissor over comb, working out those dark spots, making sure we have a nice transition. I use the white side to get away from dark areas, and then I go to the more fine side to pick out a little bit more. But now we're lining up. He pretty much has a natural lineup, but he has a little widow's peak in the front. He doesn't like it too sharp, like he doesn't want like a very sharp lineup. So I go over pretty naturally. I just kind of clean up that front area so it's not hanging lower, and then I just connect the corners and then hit his vertical bars, and that's about it. He doesn't like it too sharp, like I said, so don't come in here and say, oh, it wasn't such a straight lineup or whatever. That's not how he likes it. He just likes it cleaned up a little bit, where it kind of looks lined up, but it's not too sharp. And now I'm using my thinning shears to poke out those darker areas, just working through that, scooping in, using them, clinching those little darker areas, just to get a nice flawless blend from the light to dark. Right here I went back with my clipper and just started doing a little bit of detail work. Now we're just going to remove the bulk, bald them out. Super simple, you know. Right here you're going to see where the bald guideline was, so now we're just going to come back with our shaver after and not go any higher than that, because then we're going to be pushing it into the fade. Alright, now we have our shaver. I'm using my bronze shaver, and I'm using just the one foil. There's two foils on here, but right here I'm just using the one foil so I can blend into the fade without pushing any higher. So I'm really tapping and, you know, working on blending into that longer or into the, like, you know, the bald fade. And then at the bottom I'll use the full blade just so I can remove more bulk faster and get as close to skin as possible. And then once I go up higher, I'm using more of the one blade just so I don't create any new lines. And these bronze shavers are beasts. They go, his hair is super thick, and look, it goes through that. Look how bald it got his neck. These shavers, I mean, they're, you know, they're a little pricey, but they're definitely worth the investment if you do a lot of mid to high fades or full head shaves.
It's another witty beat.
Right here we're just putting the last touches to his haircut. We're just going with the grain just to get those flyaway hairs, but that's pretty much it, YouTube. This is how my client came in before. Not too raggedy, you know, he was needing a, you know, of a fade, but wasn't too long. But we went ahead and blessed him, and this is how he looks after. Bam! Clean fade, you know, brought him back to life. I know I've been gone for a while, but I hope you guys learned something new. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, make sure to like, comment down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for all the support, and catch you guys on the next one.